Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a hot minute since I last posted, but I feel like I need to talk about the whole problem and really like all of the things that are going on with Everglow-up and her very problematic video and the whole Big 3 boycott and my opinion on it. So I think we should start off with the fact that this is not the first time she's said something problematic. From what I've seen, she has said other problematic things before. Okay, so the main thing that I want to address today, because trust me, if I really wanted to, I could go on a whole deep dive on Everglow, but that's not what I'm here for, and that would take a really long time. So today I want to focus on her video talking about the Big 4 boycott and why it didn't work and what she said, because I think the video is really it's not, I don't know how to explain it, but she isn't properly educated on what is going on in Gaza, and I don't think she should really be talking. So I'm going to give my own opinion and kind of explain why I think it didn't work. If you guys want to watch the video I will be talking about in this video, I will be linking it in the description so you guys can go see it and check it out, because I think it's such a weird video that really I don't think should have been made, especially because she didn't do proper research on what is happening in Gaza and why this boycott was started. So in her video, it seems that she was talking about how what is happening in Gaza is more of a conflict than anything, and ignored the fact that what's happening in Gaza is massive genocide. And in her video, she states that by doing the boycotts, the only people who would have been affected in the boycott were the people at the bottom, meaning the staff and people who have families to feed. But earlier in her video, she had stated that the boycott had not done any damage, and how like nothing had happened because I guess the boycott didn't work. But then proceeds to say that it affected the people at the bottom when the only people it would have affected was the people at the top, because the people at the bottom, like the staff, would have still gotten their paychecks because they work like an hourly paid job. So I don't understand where she's coming with that from, because you know it's not going to affect the people at the bottom, and she is contradicting herself by saying that it did no damage but then stating that it did damage at the same time. So I think that's just kind of dumb. Next thing that they talk about in the video is about how can a boycott be a boycott when nobody knew about it, and then proceeds to say that nobody cared about the boycott and nobody was affected by the boycott or anything that's happening, which there is people who did care, and that is the people who did the boycott and started the boycott. They cared about what is happening in Gaza, and there are people who are being affected, and those people are the people in Gaza who are being attacked every day, and it is the reason why those boycotts are started, because they want to cease fire. So I think it's very shallow to say that nobody was being affected when there are people who are being affected and are being attacked every day. Probably as she made the video, there was people being attacked, which I think nobody should have to say that, because it's like you shouldn't be saying that, because there's always people who are affected by things. And so, you know, the last thing that she said in her video was that the people who were participating in the boycott should get off of TikTok and go educate themselves on what is going on in Gaza, which is really shallow of her to say, because she clearly is not educated in what is going on in Gaza. Because what she said is that it's just a conflict, and that no amount of giving up your American coffee or any of that is going to change. But the reason that those companies are being boycotted is because they directly support Israel and fund Israel. So that is the reason why they're being boycotted. And I just think it's really wrong to say something and tell people to go educate themselves when you clearly aren't well educated either. So, like, I want to talk about why I think the boycott didn't work, but like, the whole Everglow-up thing is really messed up, and I don't think people should be like really talking on the internet if they don't know what they're talking about. So, why do I think that the boycott didn't work? I think it didn't work because not many people were informed. And for something to work, a lot of people have to know about it, especially like a boycott or something. I didn't find out about the boycott until like probably a few days before, and I know a lot of people, I've seen TikToks and I've seen stuff on Twitter of people talking about how they didn't know about the boycott until it was already going on or was already finished, which I think plays a big part in why there wasn't much of an impact with the boycott. And I think that instead of doing boycotts for companies like K-pop companies and stuff like that, I think we should be focusing more on companies who directly support and fund in Israel, because I feel like that would make a bigger impact, as we have already seen with so many companies that have been boycotted, that it does work and it does affect them. And so I think we should just keep going strong with that, because boycotting K-pop companies, they aren't like, they'll accept sponsorships from Starbucks, all of that, but as long as we keep going strong with the boycotts on companies that support and fund Israel, I think that will help a lot and will make a bigger impact. Another reason on why I think the boycott did not work is because a lot of people say it's easy, or show that it's easy, to give up companies who don't have a pretty or someone they support, like K-pop idols, on the front of their companies, representing their companies. While K-pop idols and K-pop companies, they have your K-pop idols who you know and you love and you support. And I think that's why it was harder for a lot of people to boycott them, because they felt like if they boycotted the companies of their favorite idols, they were boycotting them. And so I feel like that's what really like held back the boycott from really working. But I think it's just how people are, and I don't want it to seem like this video is like against all of that. I think the boycott was an amazing idea, but it's harder to boycott things that people know and love, that have people who represent the company and people who fans have fallen in love with. I think it's harder for people to boycott that because they love their idols, and so I think we should just stick with boycotting the companies who are directly funding Israel. I know it seems like I'm just repeating it, but I think that's what would help a lot, because K-pop companies, like agencies, they aren't directly funding Israel as far as we know. The big four aren't directly funding Israel, but they are taking sponsorships from companies who are directly funding them. So I think we should just focus on boycotting those companies and just continue demanding a ceasefire. And I think that would help a lot. And that's my opinion on this whole Big Four boycott and everything that's been going on, and Everglow-ups problematic video. if y'all have any other thoughts or things you want to share with me about it that maybe I missed, please do leave it down in the comments, and maybe I'll make a follow-up if anything else happens. But I think this is where it ends. So yeah, but yeah, I hope you all enjoyed my video. I will try to get back to posting more regularly, but school has been very time consuming, and yeah, but I hope to see you all in the next video. I love you all. Hugs and kisses. Bye.